Tears of the Kingdom is a brand new game, not something that could have just been an update or an expansion pack. It's its own entity. There's no getting around that. And because of that, its insistence on following Breath of the Wild's format holds it back tremendously, in my opinion. It hits the exact same bullet points of what you did in the previous game. The tutorial section involves going to 4 shrines to get your abilities. Then you have to go to 4 different regions on the map to basically do the dungeons of the game, and all the while find Koroks hiding in the same types of places, which collecting them does the same exact thing they did in Breath of the Wild, much like running around finding the tears, which is this game's memories. Find the shrines, complete the shrines, they do the exact same thing they did in the previous game. But when you find the Master Sword, oh, it's completely different this time around. You need more stamina to regain it instead of hearts. Who are you? So much of what you do in Tears of the Kingdom follows the exact same template as Breath of the Wild, and I get it, it's a sequel. I was expecting it to follow a lot of the same tropes, but I mean, beat for beat, this follows that game too closely. This structure worked great in Breath of the Wild, and it works fine here, but honestly, this all felt more natural in that game. Why were you going to the 4 different regions there? Why, to free the 4 divine beasts, because your goal is to waltz into Hyrule Castle and eliminate Calamity Ganon right from the start. But going to these 4 regions and completing these help you become stronger and make Calamity Ganon weaker. Why are you going to the 4 different regions in Tears of the Kingdom? To waste my goddamn time. The story in Tears of the Kingdom was treated as if it was so much more in-depth and better than Breath of the Wild. While, in my opinion, I honestly think it's more shallow and far worse. Breath of the Wild's plot was really basic. However, I would never call it bad. I think it was perfect for what they were trying to do. Practically everything was optional. You didn't need to complete the Divine Beast, you didn't need to find the memories, you could do whatever you want, so I can tell how difficult it was to craft a story around this. But they did it. It's very simple, though has some great character moments, and the concept of Link suffering from amnesia and having to piece together memories by finding locations and recalling certain scenes worked well with the non-linear setup of the game. These memories make sense to be seen out of order because that's how you regain memories. Oftentimes, you just remember a certain thing that happened. Don't know what happened before, what happened after, just that. And it's not like these memories are revealing any vital story details you need to know. It's all supplemental. You already know what happened at the end of the day, so what these are more focused on is showcasing Zelda as a character, who she was, what she was interested in, what she struggled with, how her and Link interacted, which makes the drive to rescue her that much greater. As time passes, I respect how this game does story more and more. Though, once again, the story itself, nothing groundbreaking. I mostly think it's good because it works incredibly well in tandem with how Breath of the Wild is designed as a game. Tears of the Kingdom ever f around with an antonym? This story is lame as hell, man. It isn't a good time with the gameplay like with Breath of the Wild, but it's also not good in its own right. Zelda is captured by the resurrected corpse of the Demon King, and Link is nearly killed in the process, awaking with a replaced arm courtesy of the spirit of the first king of Hyrule, the goat with abs. Go down to Lookout Landing, and Purah tells you, man, you should check out those 4 regions you already went to in the last game to get some answers as to what the hell is going on here. So you go to a region, you see Zelda walking around in the distance ominously, doing evil in the sort. Everybody goes, is that Princess Zelda? Why would she be doing such things? You do some stuff for them, you end up at one of the dungeons, do that, the boss pops up, which usually doesn't feel impactful. Many of these felt about as evil and threatening as a Hinox you'd find dozens of times in the open world. The different variations of Ganon boss fights in Breath of the Wild got old, yeah, but in the context of what was going on in that game, they felt like a bigger deal. You beat everything, an ancestor of your partner from that region appears and tells you what happened all those years ago and lends them their secret stone. I hope that sounded interesting, because if it didn't, that's on me. I need to learn how to spin bullshit stories better. But also because it's the same damn thing in each of the regions. And why am I doing all of this? For research? After the first region, I think I have a pretty good idea of what's happening. And everybody's constantly befuddled as to why Zelda would be doing all of this. But Link has seen all of this from the very start. He saw the resurrection, Zelda falling, but we just let everybody else put it together first. Which, can I just ask, who the hell is Link as a character at this point? Throughout the entire series, he's been considered the link between the player and the game. And up until Breath of the Wild, you can name him whatever you wanted, he never spoke, really driving home how Nintendo viewed him like a sort of avatar, a stand-in for the player. However, Breath of the Wild broke one of many series traditions by not allowing you to name Link. He was just Link. He's officially his own character now. He's not you, he's not me, he's not shit in my pants Jerry, he's Link. So why doesn't he act like it, damn it? It's so odd to me that the games where Link is an actual character, he has significantly less character than in the games where he's supposed to be more of a blank slate for the player. Now, I feel that over time, the developers sort of stopped viewing Link as this and just kept letting you name the character, for example, because every Zelda did. You look at a game like Wind Waker with the most expressive Link of all time, or Skyward Sword with a genuine love story between him and Zelda. You can't tell me Nintendo believes this Link's name is Scott Wozniak, because if they do, well, I have a legal case to make. But it's just baffling how this Link, who is entirely his own character, definitively named Link, just stands there for the most part with a blank stare, which is 10 times more irritating when I have to view possessed Zelda walking around and act like I don't know what's going on. 4 times. Yes, let me hear what this ghost has to say about the imprisoning war, which consists of people standing around Ganondorf and Zelda saying, "Don't worry, Link will save everything." Multiple times. There's nothing new that's ever learned from any of these. They all say the same thing. That's just the first 40 hours, so it picks up later, I promise. Littered throughout the world are the tears, which will show what Zelda's been up to, which, like I said, replace the memories from the previous game. Since you're finding these randomly throughout the game, there's no way around it. You're gonna find them out of chronological order. The memories worked in this regard. The tears? I don't think so, man. So these showcase Zelda after becoming stuck in the past and meeting and working with Abgo and wife who's okay with that. This is a pretty straightforward story of Zelda and the King and Queen of Hyrule trying to stop Ganondorf that has no benefit to being viewed out of order. I don't understand why they did this outside of, it's what Breath of the Wild did. And honestly, there's nothing really interesting I learned from these outside of the Master Sword is a girl. You know exactly what's going on in this story at almost every second, which makes the forced mystery of what's going on just tiresome. I've seen many allude to how this game has a far better narrative than Breath of the Wild, but I disagree. I bet it feels that way just because the game pretends to care about story more, but all it boils down to is a plot that has nothing to really say. It's not bad, I just call it kinda lame. Something that does the job it needed to do, but in a way that felt far more forced than its predecessor.